Hi guys, welcome back to Golden Reviewer. So here I have three devices: Samsung S22 Ultra, Google Pixel 7 Pro, and iPhone 14 Pro Max. Okay, so these are supposedly the best smartphones in terms of camera performance, right? So today we are going to do a low light 4K 30 FPS video recording comparison between these devices, because if you are more interested in the photo comparisons, just follow my Twitter. I posted quite a lot of photos there, but here on YouTube I'll just focus on video, right? Because it's actually the more challenging aspects for the camera systems, right? So all set to 4K 30 FPS. Let's get into the comparison. Okay, so now I'm recording from the front-facing camera on three devices. The device on the left is iPhone 14 Pro Max, Pixel 7 Pro is in the middle, and the S22 Ultra is on the right. Okay, so I'm recording 4K 30 FPS, and all seems to be doing okay, except that I can see a bit more noise from the Pixel footage. I'm not sure if you are able to notice. If you look at the sky, the top portion of the footage, it appears to be very noisy. Okay, but other than that, it looks fine. Let's move to a slightly darker place and see how they do when there is almost no light. All right, from my experience, Samsung should be a little bit better, and yeah, the Samsung is brighter. It's definitely brighter than iPhone. The Pixel 7 Pro is also quite bright, but it's just, I mean, the quality is just terrible. There's no quality at all, right? It's very blurry, very noisy, and you can't really see my facial features clearly, right? The iPhone is fine, it's just very dark. It's very, very dark. So I think here I actually prefer the Samsung because it's just, it's just more usable footage here. Okay, so that's for the front facing, and let me see whether I can switch to the rear lenses on Pixel, right? Because you can't do that while recording on iPhone, but you can do that on Samsung. So this is always a pain point for me on iPhone, right? It doesn't make sense that it forces you to stop the video and switch lens and start recording again. I don't see any option on Pixel, so it seems that I have to stop as well, switch to back cameras and start again. But on Samsung, I can directly do the switch. All right, so now I'm recording from the rear facing cameras. Currently it's on the main lens for all three devices. What do you think? I see some flickering on the Pixel footage, but now it's okay. Now it seems to be okay. Pixel seems to be a little bit brighter, right? Actually, the iPhone 14 Pro Max looks quite nice here. It has very nice contrasty footage, quite clean, and usually it's very stable, because I can't really say which one has better stabilization just looking at the viewfinder. I have to look at the final footage on PC, or you can tell me down in the comments, right, which one is doing the stabilization better. The Pixel 7 Pro is doing fine, I guess. Colors are quite okay, and shadows are very bright, but maybe a little bit too bright for my liking. For stabilization, I'm not too sure. I do see some blur when I'm walking. Let me run a little bit. How is it? What do you think? Okay, so That's for the main lens, and let's move to a darker place. For the dynamic range, I think all three are doing quite okay, right? iPhone still has a little bit of edge in terms of dynamic range, but I think the Android devices are also catching up. Okay. In this scene, actually, I prefer the Pixel 7 Pro's footage, right? It's very balanced for the highlights and the shadows. It's brighter than iPhone, but it's also sharper than the Samsung. At least that's what I see from the viewfinder. Looks quite nice to me. Then if you point at the very dark places, I think the Pixel is actually doing a great job here, right? Samsung is very bright, but it's overexposing, and also it's quite soft, right? iPhone is just too dark. So actually I like the Pixel footage here. It's doing a great job. Okay, so that's the main lens. We've seen very dark places and not so dark places. Now let's switch to the ultra wide. Okay. One thing I noticed straight away is that the Pixel 7 Pro is very noisy. Right? There is just a lot of noise in the footage. Samsung is brighter. iPhone is the darkest of the three. But yeah, I think the iPhone produced the least amount of noise here. It's Pixel 7 producing the most noisy footage, right? Then let me also walk a little bit so that you can judge the stabilization. Okay, so this is recording from the ultra wide angle. Now all these devices have some zoom capabilities, right? So now I'm switching to 3x on Samsung and iPhone, and then 5x on Pixel. So what do you think? This Pixel footage has a little bit of blue colored cast, right? I don't know how to describe, but the color just doesn't look right to me. Okay, on iPhone you can digitally zoom to 9x. On Pixel you can zoom to 10x as well. On Samsung you have dedicated lens for 10x. Okay, so I think for digital zoom, the Pixel is doing okay, but it still cannot compare with the physical periscope lens on Samsung, right? If you pay attention to the details, right? Samsung is just a lot sharper. Okay, let's switch back to 1x, and yeah, let's back to the main camera, and yeah, I think that's it for today's comparison for low light video capability for Pixel 7 Pro, iPhone 14 Pro Max, and the S22 Ultra. Right? I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much, and see you next time.